Now that your courses have been approved and they are in the course catalog, you now need to know how to manage them. So go to the Courses I Am Teaching tab. That will show up as soon as you have a submitted course that's been approved. It'll automatically show up there. And it will stay there because then you'll have current courses or future courses or past courses. So you'll always be able to go back and see who was on your roster. Please note that once you submit a course and it's approved and it goes into the course catalog, that you cannot go back and make changes. If you do need to make any changes in your course or to course title, description, etc., please make sure to get in touch with a systems administrator to help you with that. So let's go look at the courses. If you click on any of the section titles or any of the course titles, that will take you to information about the course. What you're most interested in this section is these little view roster icons. So let's go look at one. You now have a bit more control than you did in the old system in courseware. The main thing to remember is that you are wanting to take attendance and mark attendance. With the app, if you have the sign-in sheet, and I clicked sign-in sheet, if you have the sign-in sheet at your event, or you give people the code so that they can sign in, you will be able to have this at the back of the room, and when your participants come into the room, they'll scan the QR code with their app, their attendance will be taken. That's it. If you want to have them sign in, you can still do this and give people the option. So all of your participants will show up here, and you'll notice the lines. Your participant's name will show up and the QR code so that you will be able to either give people choices of using the app to sign themselves in or put their name down. If they put their name down, you'll still need to mark their attendance. The app is going to make it really easy for you to be able to take attendance, especially when you have a lot of people, and when they come in, they can take their attendance at the back of the room or the front, wherever you want to put it. So let's look at a couple of these other tabs. There's very few times that you will be adding learners to your course without them having registered for the course themselves. Usually people will register for the course themselves. We do not want instructors adding people to their classes without their permission. So do not go in and start adding your friends to your class without their permission. If we hear about an instructor adding people to their course who never plan to sign up, then we will take away the instructor rights. It's important to adhere to professional courtesy, both for you as a facilitator and for your participants as learners. The wait list button will show you if you have anybody on the wait list and who those might be. So if somebody says, hey, I'm on the wait list and I really want to know where I am, you'll say, oh, you're fourth down on the wait list, so hold on. And if a spot opens up, you will be automatically bumped into the class, and you will also be able to know. There are two ways to remove participants. So if somebody contacts you and says, I no longer want to take this class, or I am not actually going to be able to finish it, you can take them off. However, they will not get a refund through the system if you remove them after the course starts. There's two ways to do that. One is to come down here and simply click Remove from Roster. If you do that, it'll say, are you sure you want to remove? And you will say yes. The second way is this button up here, Remove Participants. It will give you a dial and you can actually remove people. You can also remove all if this course is going to be canceled and you simply need to remove everybody from the list. If a course is canceled for low enrollment, the system will automatically remove everybody from the roster and refund them. If you are canceling the course, then you will need to come in and remove them. However, we will still need to give them refunds. So please make sure that you communicate about deleting people from a course. If somebody says, I'm no longer interested in being on the wait list, you can delete them from here as well. And please send notifications when they're being removed from the wait list. That way, everybody's on the same track. People can also remove themselves, remember, very easily from their home screen. So you may not actually have to do too much of that. Hopefully you won't. Hopefully people will now be able to do that themselves. So you'll see that I have two learning opportunities. I'm in these two, and the one that we're looking at is called the Summer Planning Work Session. If I go to this button, I can automatically withdraw. It'll say, do I want to withdraw? And I can click yes. Right now I'm not going to, so that there's at least one person in my section that we're looking at. So people should be able to remove themselves fairly easily from their learning opportunities. There's a couple places to do it. Look at payment details, change credit type. Oh, I no longer want TIC. I think I'm going to take it for something else. Or simply cancel. So let's go back to courses I am teaching. So now I'm looking at my roster. If there are multiple days, you'll notice that this says 1 out of 1. So I have marked my attendance and it was a 1-day class. That's done. However, if there's multiple days, it'll say 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, and people will be able to mark their attendance with the app every time they come in, and it'll automatically update this. Once you see that they have attendance 5 out of 5, you'll know that you can mark them as fully attended. We looked at the sign-in sheet. Now let's look at name tags and table tents. This is a different way to do attendance, but you have the option. What this would do is give each person that comes into the room a table tent. So you can actually make a label for them, including their own personal QR code. And there's my lovely label. This can definitely be an option if you want to have people sit us at specific places and also log themselves in as attended. There's also a way for you to do regular attendance. Regular attendance simply means that you come in and you go and you mark the person as attended. So I can say, nope, this person, just kidding, they're not attended. Or I can say, yes, they attended. When you have multiple people, you'll be able to do a bulk and attend all, or even have the checkboxes and click their name next to it. Then after this screen, you simply hit back up here and everything has been recorded. Percent attendance and threshold attendance work essentially the same way. The percentage attendance says to complete this section, the registrant's attendance must be equal or greater than, right now it's 1. They have to make the 1 class. If there are 10 classes, you might say maybe they make 9 out of 10. That's what they would have to make in order to be able to have credit. Similarly, set the threshold attendance to receive full credit, the registrant's attendance must be equal to or greater than 1. It must be 1. This will set all registrants based on defined process. So if you know that they have to make at least 13 out of 15 classes, you can set this to 13, and anybody who doesn't get 13 will automatically not receive credit. If they do get 13, they will receive credit. If you have a class that has work required, then it's obviously not just about attendance, but in the regular attendance, you will show whether or not this person completed the course. They may have made all the different sections of the course, but They might not have actually done everything they needed, in which case you will not be releasing credit to them because they didn't complete what they needed to in order to complete credit. Okay, so you see how to create your own sign-in sheet, make name tags or table tents if you want to have people's unique QR codes as they register themselves, or you have a sign-in sheet with a QR code for the class, and they can also sign their name in so that you have proof that they were there if they decided not to use their app. You can also mark people regularly attended through the regular attendance, so it's a pull down. If we look at regular attendance, you'll see that there is Friday, 426 was the first meeting. I can do a bulk. Let's say everyone attended. I can mark all 5 attended, so mark 5 people attended, absent, or not recorded. Right now I'm going to make not recorded because that's what it is. So far it's not recorded. Or perhaps a couple people attended, but this person was not, so then I would want to make sure to do that. Right now I'm going to leave it all as not recorded, but there is the bulk, so if everybody was there, you have an easy way to do that. You have a few ways of communicating with people as well. You have messages and email all. If you click messages, you'll see a list of people, and there are also predetermined messages. These are status messages. So if you send a message, you're either going to tell them about a section. It does say don't send message and send message. Don't send message means whoever you mark will not get that message sent to them. Send message means whoever you mark will get the message sent to them. You can also email people. And when you email all, you actually can decide who you're going to email. You may only need to email one person, but you might need to give them something more than just one of the predetermined messages. So you can write in here, send links, go back and forth. You can send something to everybody. If you want to have this sent to somebody else, you can do that here. Also send. So that's a nice way for you to be able to communicate with people in your class. Because this is tied directly to their emails in the district, it will be very easy for you to be able to communicate back and forth with them. You can also add an attachment if you need to send an attachment to people registered in the class. If you need to see who enrolled, who was dropped, who withdrew from the class, you would want to go to the history section. You'll be able to see what date they signed up. So if people say, no, I didn't sign up, you'll say, well, actually, yeah, look at that. You signed up at 10:22 a.m. on this date. This person, these were removed, and you'll see who put them in. So if a person was registered by themselves, and they registered themselves into the class, it'll show their own name. If the instructor registered them in the class, it'll show the instructor's name. That's very important to know because then you'll be able to determine, and we will be able to determine who registered themselves and who was actually entered by the instructor or removed from the class by the instructor. So we don't lose that data. Courses that have a survey attached, which is almost all of them, you will be able to show your survey results. That way you will be able to see an anonymous report of the survey results. So those will be automatically given to you as the instructor. You won't have to wait and you won't have to wonder if people filled out the survey or what the results of that survey were. There's also the 60-day follow-up, which can be very helpful for you because if you taught something and you were hoping that people implemented it and that was the expectation, now you can check and see. So you had survey results, course survey completion. This will indicate who filled out the survey and who didn't. If people are wondering if they filled out a survey or not, you'll be able to tell them. The final step in closing out your class is to update the roster status. When your class is running, the roster is open. However, you are going to change the roster to complete pending survey. We don't need to change it to anything else. Complete pending survey. That will send the survey to everyone, and it will close the class and release their tick or their hours as long as they complete the survey. If they do not complete the survey, they will not have that released. And those are the basics of managing your class.